thanks for joining us. In this video, we want to take a more comprehensive view of the North49 Customer Portal. We've posted several other videos on our YouTube channel that talk about various aspects of the Customer Portal. There's also a tutorial that's sort of intended to take you through our test drive site, which is what I'm going to use to demonstrate the full functionality of the standard portal. So I'm going to do that and go through and show you basically the standard functionality that is available with the North49 Customer Portal for Sage 300 users. There is additional functionality that is possible, and I'm going to show you an example of that with our own portal for our customers. So once we get to the end of the standard portal, I'll touch on that and show you where we can take this. So for now, we're just going to focus on the standard portal and what functionality is available there. So this is what the login page would typically look like for a portal, and if you had a portal for your customers. In this section up here, you can see as you hover, you would put your company name here as well as your logo, and in this corner you would have your contact information, probably a URL to your website, that type of thing. This is intended to be a welcome message for your customers, but you could put anything you wanted here, and you could also request a username, or have your customers request a username and a password to gain access. There's a few different ways you can deal with that. This is one of them. For our test drive portal, which is what this is, and incidentally, you can gain access to this. Simply send us, or use this form. It'll send us an email asking for the login credentials, and we'll send them to you. We do change these on a month-to-month basis, but this is an open site. You can come in here anytime you like and play around and see what it does. I'm going to take you through the standard functionality. For your customers, when you get this set up, you will have the ability to retrieve a password if they've got one in the system and they've forgotten what it is. So we'll compare this to the email address that we have on file for the customer, and we will send the password back to them. And incidentally, the passwords are all stored in Sage 300 in the AR customer record against that customer's name. So you will always, as the owner of this portal, you will always have access to these login credentials, and in that way you can actually control who has access to the system and who does not. So we're going to log in, and we're going to take a look at what this portal is all about. So again, this is what the standard portal screen will look like. You have a number of icons here that will allow your customers to perform specific tasks. So let's kind of go through them one by one. So number one, we have the account activity, and the screen that displays here is going to give your customer some summary level information about their account with you. So who they are, their account number, their account status, being active or not, a couple of years of their purchase history here, their address and whatnot, and then some basic information here about their account, outstanding balance, invoice date, and so on and so forth. So just a summary level information about information that's in the system for them. You can navigate to the other functions either through this menu at the top of this display, or you could actually navigate, back to the landing page and do so from the more the icon-driven view. So let's have a look at what the View Transactions is all about. So in this case, what we're doing is we're providing access to all the documents inside of Sage 300, so all the transactions that took place for this customer. You do have the ability, or that is to say your customer has the ability to limit this down to specific types of transactions. So for example, I only want to see invoices, and this is going to filter my returning result just by invoices. And I can also show only open documents, which means those that still have a balance on them. And of course I can limit or expand how many lines I have on my display at this point in time. I didn't mention at the beginning, and I should mention this now. We read this information live out of Sage 300 on demand. So when I do this drill down here and I click on that on that document, it actually goes out to Sage, retrieves that information, and brings it back to the screen on demand. So this is live as of this point in time in the system that this portal is serving information up from. So through your firewalls and an IP to IP communication that is encrypted, so it's a very secure communication, but it's on demand. So what that means is we do not store any of this customer data on our web servers. The web server's job is to host the pages and to make sure that it stays up and running and available so your customers can come on here and make queries onto their account. So we drilled down into that document, so it gives you basically a rendering of what items and the basic information that's on that document and that transaction. They can also choose to print that, which basically means that we're going to produce an HTML rendering of this invoice layout. Up here you will see your logo and your contact information and that type of information. Also, if your browser supports it, and I think pretty much all browsers do, they could save this to a PDF, or they could simply print it out for their records. Now this is really handy for you because one of the things that we found that our customers were asking about was the ability to let their customers self-serve, because they were getting a lot of these inquiries about, I've lost my invoice, I can't find it, can you send me a new one, what's my outstanding balance, that type of thing. So these routine types of requests were taking up a lot of time on the part of their customer service staff or even their sales staff, so they wanted to put that control in the hands of their customers. And frankly, customers nowadays are expecting this kind of self-serve capability. Now in the age of Amazon and the other online marketplaces, people have become accustomed to having the ability to self-serve. They want to see their accounts. They don't want to necessarily have to talk to somebody unless it's required, so they want that ability to self-serve, and this is what gives it to them. So the nice benefit to you as well, on top of giving your customers this extended level of service that they really want, is you take some of the burden off of your internal customer service staff. So that was the view transactions. Now let's go to the pay account. Now this is something that you can provide optionally for your customers. Basically, we're hooked up by default to Sage Payment Solutions, which means that we are utilizing their gateway and their vault in order to process payments. So if a customer wants to come in here and make a payment, they can simply check on the documents they want to pay. If they want to have a quick view about what's on that document or on that transaction, they can see the various line items on there just to be certain that they're paying the right thing. They hit that Make Payment button, and we basically take them out to the gateway that will allow them to enter their card details and make that payment. And you'll notice that we've populated this with all the proper information that we were able to draw out of that document. So the only thing they really need to enter here is their card number, expiration date, and so forth. Now, we, as part of the portal, are never touching the card. We take this straight out to the payment gateway, which means that it is their vault that is taking the transaction or taking the card information, and not us, or by default, not you. So there are no PCI compliance issues here whatsoever. We never touch the card, nor do you. The gateway does in their vault. They have all the PCI compliance stuff taken care of. When the transaction is approved, basically what happens now is you'll get a message back that's saying transaction approved. We will then take that payment information and either append it to an existing batch with the appropriate tags for, this is a Visa, MasterCard, whatever it was, or if there's no open batch, we will create a new batch in the same fashion. And the reason we do this, associating it as Visa or MasterCard or whatever, is so you have some reconciliation capabilities when you get your reconciliations from your card processor, so you can easily identify what these transactions were all about. So that's the payment. Now, we don't have to necessarily work with Sage Payments. We always recommend it because it is a fully integrated solution to Sage 300. It just makes life easier on both ends, both on the capturing of the funds and on the processing of that transaction within Sage. But we can go to virtually any payment processor as long as they have the ability for us to get to their virtual gateways, and I think basically everybody does. Next thing is to view orders. So this is an easy way to have a quick look at what's in the system for the customer who's making the inquiry. And you'll notice here we can view this by all transactions, or we can filter it down to active orders, future standing, or quotes. So if we want to filter this down to just active orders, and again, we can show only open documents if we want to do that. We also have the ability here to filter this not by order, but by item. So this actually gives us a view of what items are outstanding and then what orders those items are outstanding on. So if I click on this, again, I get that drill down capability, and it shows me the line items, other line items or products that are on that order as well, with the ability to print, much like I did with the invoice. So similar functionality there. So it's a quick and easy way to have a look at what's in the system for me, either on back order and either by order and by item. So it's a nice review of what's in there. And you can see that we're reading the status here directly out of Sage, so your customer can tell at what point their order is. Is it partially invoiced? Is it awaiting shipment? What's going on with that order? So they'll see that here as well. We have a Contact Us form, and we do populate some of these fields automatically based upon the information that we know about that person once they've logged in. Some we make non-editable because you want to make sure you know who this communication is coming from. We do give the ability to change the contact name and email address to reply and whatnot, because sometimes one person may be inquiring on behalf of another. So this would be the AR account, and this may be a person related to that AR account. And this message is going to go to whatever designated email address you have internally to act upon. So pretty straightforward stuff. And also you have the ability to change password here as well, pretty much what you might expect. And again, this password information is stored against the AR customer record, so you will always have access to it and ultimately control over who has access to this portal. So that runs us through the standard functionality of the North49 Customer Portal. Very easy to install, quick and easy and relatively inexpensive. If you want to have a test drive of this, again, just go to that login page, fill out this request username and password, and we'll fire you off the login credentials so you can play around with this yourself. I did mention at the beginning that we do have the ability to take this beyond the standard. We use technology that we call Connect, and Connect is that ability for us to read data live out of Sage 300. And so with that technology, we can also access any ODBC compliant data source and any SQL table. So case in point, we have, you'll notice a different icon here on ours, and this is for our customers. And just incidentally, Webtelligence is our full e-commerce platform for Sage 300, which can be a web store, it can be a salesperson portal, and of course, this customer portal. The customer portal we can deploy separately because of this Connect technology, but the others require our more full-featured e-commerce platform with the infrastructure in order to do that, because now we're placing orders. But so for our Webtelligence customers, we provide the ability for them to log into the portal and view the statistics of their interaction with us and of their website. So it's a system that we've been maintaining since we've had Webtelligence that tracks how much data is being stored, how much data is being transferred, what's the order count, how many page hits, all that kind of thing, how many SKUs are on the site. And so this gives them a nice overview of the activity on their website and can be a good starting point for better analysis to improve marketing and that type of thing on the website. They also have the ability here, if they click on this, they can export this to an Excel document so they can do further analysis on that. So it's a nice way for our customers to gain access to information that we maintain on their behalf, and they can easily access this themselves. If they click on something here, they can also see the actual billing information for that account. So that is the North49 Customer Portal. Quick presentation of what that's all about. We're certainly happy to speak with you about specifics that you might have and different applications that you might have. If there's information beyond what would standardly live inside of Sage 300, chances are we can access that, and so give us a call. We're happy to speak to you about that. So thank you for watching, and please do check out our other videos on our YouTube channel, on our customer portal, and on the Webtelligence e-commerce platform for Sage 300.